Welcome to the Pulse with Peter B. I'm your host, Peter Biancamano. Let's get you to the pulse on everything you need to know. And we are here at Hoboken's favorite Greek restaurant, which is Plaka Souvlaki, located at 62 Newark Street. You have to come down and try all of the fare that the person to my right is going to try in the next few seconds. And of course, she needs absolutely no introduction. It is our Places Insider, Megan Ixim of @Miss Giggles. Great to see you again.
Thank you so much for having me again.
Absolutely. Happy New Year, because this is the first time you're on in a new year, because you've been like traveling the globe, which we'll get to in a future segment.
Yes, it's been quite an end of the year, but I'm excited to be home in the cold eating some delicious food.
I love it. And what did she do when she heard Greek restaurant? She went to the liquor store and got a bottle of Ouzo. Why not, right?
It's called holy water in Greek.
It's called holy water.
Just to clarify.
I absolutely love it. Well, listen, we don't got much time, and we got a lot of amazing dishes to try here.
Oh, my
So we're going to
goodness.
go dish by dish by dish. Talk to me about what you have first to your right.
Well, let's just say I am so excited about the variety and choices that they have here at Plaka Souvlaki. This is a very large menu for my experience of Greek locally, and there's really something for everyone. And I'm really excited to dive into this first dish.
I absolutely love how she gives the explanation too. You're so right. It's like you come in here and it's a quaint space. But you know, they have all your heart desires when it comes to Greek food.
Oh, absolutely.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness. And you know, a little bit of spice and flavor for those people who are looking for something different too.
I love it. I absolutely love it. All right, what do you got?
So our first dish, which I was told to have the traditional Greek way, is to have a fried egg on top, which I am all about. So this is a spanakopita salad.
And of course, spanakopita is the spinach. It's the traditional spinach pie in Greek normally, but it looks like they did a little bit of a different version in a salad version with, of course, the fried egg.
Oh, yeah. And the feta cheese, the spinach, and there's like some really fun, almost looks like tortillas, obviously not, but I'm thinking some pita chips with spice in the salad. And
while you take a bite, the one thing I want to say is the absolute amazing colors of this salad. I mean, it just, I can't, she's like, stop talking. I need to talk. So go ahead.
Oh, no, I was not interrupting you. I was trying to get my chew in.
Go ahead.
Oh my God. The dressing on this salad is unbelievable.
Really?
Oh my
What type
God.
of dressing?
I think it's a tzatziki feta, like a white sauce, but as a salad dressing, so it has a little bit more citrus. Oh my God, that first bite was incredible.
That is phenomenal. Oh my God.
So tasty.
Highly recommended?
Highly recommended.
All right. And by the way, folks, you know, we've been here before, probably about 50 episodes ago or so, but who's counting? And we had Krista with us, or your good friend from that hashtag food pick. And, you know, we interviewed Nick Bobbles, one of the owners here. They're straight off the boat from Greeks. So, I mean, you know that the food is going to be authentic if they're straight off the boat.
I mean, I have an even more fun fact that I learned from the other owner who was present here, that their uncle might have been the one to invent souvlaki in 1930.
What?
Yes.
So now you have to come to Plaka Souvlaki. You have to.
I mean, how much more authentic can you get than that?
Exactly. All right, let's move.
Right.
Okay, you want to move on here?
It's time to eat, everyone.
It's time to eat. Exactly.
Okay,
Enough
so we have some spiced fries.
Guess
Smells
what
like
I'm doing?
rosemary. Good. You want to sniff?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, all right. And we have my favorite, which is like this tahini. I don't know who doesn't like tahini, but they're wrong.
Oh.
Okay.
Yes. And what is this sauce back here?
Well, that's for another dish.
Oh, that's for another dish. Sorry. Yes, I'm going to try one. But I wanted to try it in this sauce. But okay,
try it in that sauce.
no. All right,
your
ready?
journey.
Salute.
Okay. Cheers.
I like that. Seasoned perfectly.
And I love a steak fry.
Me too.
Like-
And homemade too.
Oh my God. Definitely homemade.
That is good. Oh, and it's the perfect accomplice, as I like to call it, to the main event here, which of course is their
Souvlaki.
Yeah, souvlaki.
Oh my God. Well,
Exactly.
you know, there's few things I love more than meat on a stick. And so when it's tasty, it's tasty.
We got the crowd going wild behind us over here. Hear that? Unbelievable.
Okay. So we're going to try to eat this as glamorously as humanly
and that is
possible.
what, pork, correct?
This is pork souvlaki, which I've never had pork souvlaki. So
What?
I'm pretty excited about it. Usually it's chicken or lamb,
Exactly.
you know, or beef. So let's
Cheers.
dig in here.
Huge fan of the. Oh,
Mm.
Oh my
Oh
God.
my God.
That is incredible.
I can't talk because I'm too busy
I
chewing.
know. The pork
Oh.
is tender. It's flavored perfectly. Perfectly.
And somehow it's still light,
Mm-hmm.
which is the most interesting part of that bite.
Unbelievable.
So tasty. Okay, so let's move
And I
on
was
to
like
the-
a bone. I took 2 pieces, so
All
excuse
right,
me while I still
so
chip.
this
Yes.
is what we're going to use this delicious sauce, which is, I believe, barbecue and tahini mixed
Wow,
together.
that sounds great.
Yeah, so I'm pretty excited
Good, you
about
dip
that.
first.
So,
Ladies first.
oh, thank you.
Of course.
Thank you. So it is chicken hugged with love by bacon.
Hugged with love, she said. I absolutely
All right,
love
so
it.
we're gonna take a dip into your favorite sauce.
Yeah, I'm going for it too.
All right. Let's see how it goes. Oh my God,
Oh my God.
that's the winner.
That is the winner.
That is the winner.
The pork is phenomenal. This is out of this world.
If you're looking for a Super Bowl bite, this is a great choice.
And she's saying that because we'll have Tony Richardson on later in the
Yeah.
show.
Just
So,
thinking ahead. Okay, so we're on to our
final
last
dish here. What do
choice,
we have
which-
here? And this one is all you. I'm not going to be able to share this with
I
you.
mean, I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to eat it while holding the microphone.
So you know what? We'll
but
put the microphone
we'll,
down.
We'll try for the
and
best.
We'll
okay.
use mine,
All right,
okay?
let's do it.
There you go.
Okay, so the gyro, which I love, is one of my favorite traditional Greek dishes. And the exciting thing about here at Plaka Souvlaki is that it's always made to order fresh.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so never frozen, delicious. I mean, look at that. That is gorgeous. All right, so we're going to try to do this. And is there fries?
Yes, there is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. While she's taking a bite, Plaka Souvlaki is located at 62 Newark Street, just a hop, skip, jump away from the PATH station. So I don't want to hear any excuses. And that's, of course, where the New Jersey Transit buses come in and all of the trains lead from all parts of the great state of Nueva Jersey. So you need to get over here. All right. Was that enough? That's called
yeah.
filibuster.
That
She
was-
took her
thank
microphone
you.
back.
Thank
That was
you.
called filibustering,
Yes,
you know?
I took my bite. It is so messy, but so delicious. The spice on that is incredible.
That's
oh my
phenomenal.
gosh. The meat, the fries. I mean, the fries were a really fun addition.
Yeah, no,
Oh, yeah.
it's very, very, from what I understand in talking to the owners here, it is very, very Greek of them to add fries to a gyro and things like that. And they really changed it here in the States.
Okay.
So that's how you know Plaka Souvlaki is doing the right thing by going back to the way Greeks do it.
With French fries.
With French fries,
Okay,
right?
I learned something new today.
All right, now finally, ouzo.
All right, yeah, we got to end the segment. You know, clear the palate and ready to get into these dishes once again because they were so tasty.
Yeah, I have a
ouzo.
few more segments to film, so I got to
Okay.
stay away
All
from
right,
that.
well.
You know what I'm saying? But Megan, before you take a chug, here
Okay.
while we have a few seconds, would you recommend Plaka Souvlaki to all of your friends and your followers on at Miss Giggles?
Yes, I would absolutely recommend. I feel like each bite was better than the next.
That is phenomenal. I absolutely love that. Thank you so much for coming by again.
Thank you so much for having me.
Exactly. She will be back in a few weeks. Stay tuned to our social media platforms, and you will see when she will be by because it is a Greek atmosphere here, as you're going to see in the next few seconds. So we have to go to a quick commercial break. Megan Ixim of at Miss Giggles. Hey, there you go. Follow her on Instagram. We do have to go to a commercial break. We will be right back. Peter Biancamano, your hostess with the mostest of the Pulse with Peter B. Folks, don't forget to go on our Facebook and our Instagram pages by searching The Pulse with Peter B. and like and follow us on each of those platforms. We're constantly updating those pages with previews of each week's segments and cool stories. Also, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to our email address at thepulsewithpeterb@gmail.com. Welcome back to The Pulse with Peter B. And the person to my right needs absolutely no introduction because I feel like he's always in the center of some sort of controversy here in Hoboken, but that's the way we like it. And that is our Hoboken Council Vice President and 3rd Ward Councilman, Mr. Michael Russo. Mike, it's so great seeing you again.
Pleasure to be here, Peter.
Absolutely. All right, Mike, let's talk about a controversial vote from just last week over at the Hoboken City Council, and that is an ordinance on rent control. I guess for the members at home, for the few members at home who don't know what the ordinance actually stated, can you explain what was changed?
Yeah, sure. So we looked at the rent control ordinance and we decided that there was going to be a slight change there. There's been a lot of controversy about it, and people kind of feel that things have happened in a certain way where they weren't agreeable to it. But the reality is, in that rent control change, what we did was we protected tenants a little bit more than they were protected prior. We lowered the CPI limit for rent control increases year over year.
And that was from 7.5 to 5%, correct?
7.5 to 5%, correct. And that was, I don't think that was really a controversial side of the whole rent control issue, but the reality is that was the one driving force for me to vote for it at our last meeting.
Gotcha. Okay. So, and was there any other parts of that ordinance or not?
Yeah, there were. I mean, so again, one of the really controversial parts, which I didn't totally agree with, was how we're going to calculate what the legal rent for tenants would be. What we're doing now is we're taking the last rent that was paid by the tenant and making that the legal rent, even though in past years, the rent control officer may have certified a higher rent than that may have been. So that's been the controversial side of this. And that really affects some of the smaller landlords here in town, those mom and pops that we like to call them, with fewer units, someone who may have inherited their building, who is just trying to get by.
Right.
So that's a controversial side of this as well. And that was one of the major issues that I think needs to further be amended.
Right.
And I think we're going to do that as well.
All right, and it's a very fair point there. But this was an ordinance that brought together two factions in town that have never seen eye to eye. There's been referendums against each other. There's obviously public outcries, debates, and that's Ron Simoncini and his Mile Square Taxpayers Association and Cheryl Fallick's Hoboken Fair Housing Association. Correct. And they came together to tell you guys that this ordinance is bad, basically. So that is a huge chunk of the population that came out to the meeting, but yet you were one of the 5 council people that still move forward with it.
Yeah.
And I know you probably had discussions with both sides on that.
Yeah, I did, and I continue to have those discussions. I reached out, I spoke to Cheryl, I've spoken to Ron, both before the meeting and after it. We will probably further amend this rent control ordinance in the city of Hoboken. One of the things that really struck me was trying to get that compromise that they spoke about before the city council and then making that change on the fly. It would never have worked, right? They gave us an outline of the things that they agreed on. We've been looking at that. We'll continue to look at that. And hopefully we'll make an amendment that just makes rent control stronger, not only for the tenants in Hoboken, but even for the landlords in Hoboken.
Exactly.
Because it needs to be equitable across the board.
And I'll tell you what, Mike, you and I have known each other for 20 years now, but he looks a lot better than I do. I don't know what he has in his jeans. A different story for a different time. But one of the things that I've always admired about you was that you've taken independent stances on a lot of different issues and things like that. And, there is some talkings and rumblings out there that since you voted with the mayor's people, that possibly there was some sort of, I don't want to say a deal, but an agreement with the mayor in this ordinance. I was just wondering if you can explain that.
Yeah, sure. And look, when something is brought before the city council and we're asked to vote on it, if it's good for the city of Hoboken, I vote for it. If it's not good for the city of Hoboken, I vote against it. I'll continue to do that into the future. I've always done that as a council person, and I'll always do that into the future. As I said, whether the mayor proposes it, whether one of my council colleagues propose it, or whether that's something from an organization like the Taxpayer Association or the Tenants Association. Whatever is good for this city is what I'm going to continue to vote for. And I'm not afraid to admit if something needs to change. And if it needs to change, we'll change it again. We need to make sure it's the best outcome for our residents.
All right. Well, we have to take a quick commercial break. Stay tuned, folks. More with Council Vice President Michael Russo after this.
Welcome to Hudson River Care and Counseling. Hello, I'm Dr. Pam Pater-Ennis, the CEO and founder of Hudson River Care and Counseling with over 30 years of clinical social work experience and therapy. We are a progressive counseling and coaching practice with a diverse team that brings a holistic approach to clients. We offer support, both in person and through digital platforms such as telehealth. Consider us a safe haven that you can trust with care for your mental health needs. Visit our website to set up a consultation today.
New York Waterways is not going to locate maintenance, operations, and refueling facilities at Union Dry Dock. It will not happen during this administration over my dead body.
Welcome back to The Pulse. As promised, still here with Council Vice President, Mr. Michael Russo. Did you miss me during the commercial?
Much.
I appreciate it. All right, Mike, I appreciate your honesty in the first half of this segment with rent control, but I do want to move on to what I think is another smaller controversial issue, which is the former Union Dry Dock. Yeah. The city decided to actually have a lease agreement, I should say, with New York Waterway for the next 5 years so they could use that site for refueling and maintenance, basically what they were going to use that site for anyway, before the city eminent domained them and turned it into a park. I could tell you that there's a lot of people that live in my community uptown who are like, this is the stuff that we were against, and now they're going to allow them to do this for 5 years. Why is that not so?
Yeah, so it's not that it's not so. It's most certainly going to happen while they're using that space. But it was going to happen anyway. If the city didn't act and move forward to try to take that property so that we can ultimately make it a park for our residents and connect the waterfront, as we've been talking about for years. If we didn't do that, they were going to use that site for exactly that in perpetuity. So the city acted. Again, this is another issue where I think the administration was on the right side of this. I think we have to move forward to do exactly what we're doing. Now, is there controversy around it? Absolutely. Do we have different groups in town that are worried about how they're going to use it, how that's going to affect the recreational opportunities that they have? All valid and important issues for us to discuss and try to really solve for. But I think ultimately it is the right decision. I think we need to acquire that land. I think it's most certainly important that we enter into that lease agreement so that they could function to find their permanent home outside of this location. So I think ultimately, although there may be a small window of difficulty, right, I think ultimately it's better for the city.
All right. Yeah. And look, the city's going to get back some of that money, right? Sure. That they dished out for eminent domain. Well, you know, Mike, you've been a councilman over 2 decades. I mean, the longest serving councilman here in the city of Hoboken. He wins all the time because the people love him down in the 3rd Ward. One of the old school, it's Italian words, I like to say, you know. And by the way, congratulations to Dom's Baker. I don't know if that was your ward, but I believe absolutely. It was on their retirement. That's right. A staple that's now out of there.
Sorely missed.
Exactly. Michael, you've been consistent on staying in your seat. Is there possibly a mayoral run in the future that you're thinking of? This is the city that you love. Of course, your father was mayor here, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, listen, I have served on the city council now for 20 years, as you said. I will continue to lead as long as the people in this city want me to lead, whether that's as a councilman or any other position that they see fit. So I am 100% committed to the city of Hoboken. I will always be committed to the city of Hoboken. And at the end of the day, as my father used to always say, if the people lead, the leaders will follow. And I follow that every day. So hopefully that will continue.
Exactly. And by the way, he's very, very accessible to everybody out there. I mean, through text and through his cell phone. And you could just go see him at the city council meetings every 2 weeks. Right. I mean, he's not afraid to talk to anybody. That's what I certainly like about Michael. Thank you so much for coming on. This has been an honor. I know it's the second time. Yep. Hopefully it's not the last time. No, not at all. And we'll see you on a future show.
Yeah, sounds good to me. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. 3rd Ward Councilman and Council Vice President Michael Russo. Thanks again. Thank you. All right, folks. When we come back, we have a Super Bowl preview. Mr. Tony Richardson, former 17-year NFL fullback, will be on set telling us his prediction. We will be right back. Peter Biancamano back with you. Don't forget to watch us on cable access every Sunday and Monday at 9 a.m. Optimum Channel 18, Fios Channel 46, and Comcast Channel 190. Also on Sunday mornings at 9:30 a.m., you can watch our show on our YouTube channel, and you can also binge watch all of our old shows. Who doesn't want to keep watching The Pulse with Peter B? We'll see you there. Welcome back to the Pulse with Peter B. And Super Bowl 57 is here. And of course, the person who's been with us all season needs absolutely no introduction. It is my good friend and sports insider to the right of me, former 17-year NFL fullback, Tony Richardson. T-Rich, great to see you again, brother.
It's great to see you as well. It's kind of sad because obviously after the Super Bowl, that means our run is over, but we will have a great time.
About?
No, I mean, our run is over because, I mean, I guess we got
the draft, we got free agency.
And I just got back from the Senior Bowl, so yeah, we got things to talk about.
I was going to say,
okay, we're good.
We're good. To talk about.
I was just saying I was going to miss you if we didn't. I mean, the Super Bowl over, and you don't call, you don't text, so hopefully we can keep this thing going.
Well, Tony, you were a player for 17 years. Yep. I mean, what are going through both the Kansas City Chiefs and Philadelphia Eagles players' minds right now?
Yeah, so unfortunately, and it's sad that you brought that up. I never was fortunate enough to play in a Super Bowl, but thank you for reminding me that.
Sorry about that. I don't want to say it,
but I think it's the biggest thing. I mean, it's the main stage you think about, which is kind of crazy. I just saw that gambling, which obviously I can't gamble because I work for the National Football League. Gambling for the Super Bowl this year is $16 billion as of today. Well, as of when the game kicks off. So my biggest thing is like this is the biggest stage. This is where stars are born. Someone's gonna come out of there. It's gonna be a Super Bowl MVP. Hopefully it's Patrick Mahomes, but we'll see what happens. But no, it's I think this week. The Chiefs obviously have been there before, and you got to like the distractions, like the tickets, the family, and all that kind of stuff. You got to get that out of the way and just kind of get down to playing football.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's what it all comes down to. It's down to a football game.
For sure.
I'm not a big fan of the halftime show. No, it's Rihanna.
What do you mean it's Rihanna?
I was going to say, I will be a fan.
Well, we have Shakira and J-Lo, so.
Exactly, without a doubt. But really it comes down to the game, like you mentioned, Tony. So, Tony, you obviously played for Kansas City for 11 years.
But not in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, you keep bringing it up, not me.
I mean, I'll start crying pretty soon. It's okay.
But, of course, you have Philadelphia close to your heart.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, but let's first talk about Kansas City. They won the Super Bowl only 3 years ago in 2020. 13 players are still on the team that won it back in 2020. I did my research for this.
I know. It's good stuff.
Anyway, what does Kansas City have to do to win their second Super Bowl in 3 years?
I think the biggest thing, number one, is you got to protect the quarterback. Obviously, we've seen Patrick Mahomes got a little banged up due to the ankle injury and everything else. So protect the quarterback. And this is going to be a running game. That's what I really believe. Like Travis Kelce is going to still get his due, but you got to be able to run the football and you got to be able to stop the run because the Eagles, to me, is the most complete football team in the National Football League. I'm kind of torn because I'm a quiet Eagles fan, but former Kansas City Chiefs.
I'm a Cowboys fan. So
the Cowboys are home. Cowboys are home.
I know. You want me to remind you of that lack of Super Bowl appearance?
Whoa, shots fired. Yeah, it's all good. But no, I think the Chiefs have to run the football and they have to protect Patrick Mahomes. If they do that, then it's going to be it should be a good game.
Exactly. And I guess one of the biggest questions is Patrick Mahomes and how his health is.
I mean, the thing about it, like when he went out, I really thought that he was done for the rest of the game. He came back, and then last week he played pretty well. Now he gets a week off per se, and then obviously ready for the game. He's not missing this game. This dude is a gamer.
Of course not. Yeah.
Some of the things you might take out, but we'll get into coaching here in a little bit. But the way they put him in positions to be successful, I think he's going to be okay.
Exactly. And you know what's funny? Kansas City was one of the best teams in the league all season.
Yeah.
But people never believed in them. They kept saying Buffalo.
Yeah.
They kept saying Cincinnati.
Well, they kept saying that because Tyreek Hill was gone. So that, and then all of a sudden they find another kid that's wearing number 10 that was a 6th round right here in Rutgers.
That's right.
Pachenko, like right here from Rutgers, 6th or 7th round draft choice, Jersey boy, and he's getting it done. Every time he's running, I'm like, did they get Tyreek Hill back? So it's actually pretty crazy.
Yeah, no, that is insane. Absolutely insane. So we're going to have to go to a quick commercial break.
We like commercials.
We're actually filming
commercials pay the bills.
That's
right.
Wish we had more
you
of
can't say that word. You can't say GD. Is this cable?
That's all right. Well, we'll bleep it. Sorry, Jim. Anyway, when we come back, we're going to talk about the Eagles' strategy to win. We're also going to be talking about coaching. But before we go, because we still have 20 seconds, we are filming this a few days before the Super Bowl because where are you going?
Actually, I will be heading down to the Super Bowl. And my buddy was like, "Are you going to be on TV?" I said, "I don't want to be on TV because that means I got arrested." So I will be doing Radio Row, but I do not want to be on TV during Super Bowl week.
Only for the Pulse of Peter Bay.
Because
he stays out of jail on that one.
Looking forward to it.
All right, Tony, don't go anywhere.
I'm not going anywhere.
When we come back, more. And then we'll even get Tony to give us a prediction on the game because that's the most exciting thing. We will be right back. Welcome back to the Pulse, and by the way, we're still here at Plaka Souvlaki, located at 62 Newark Street. I know it's Tony's first time here.
Yes. First time of many. First time of many. I will be back.
I will be
back.
Right, I like that a lot. And not only because they gave him a drink to his right that he's trying to cover off of camera.
You can't tell I had a drink, though. You can't
exactly. But if you go back to our first segment, you can see what he's drinking.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, a little ouzo. So actually, I got a good buddy of mine. Oh no, it's actually cloudy water. I got a good buddy of mine that's actually getting married in Greece, and so we're going to Mykonos and Santorini, and then we're going to Cyprus. So I will be in Greece. So I need.
He's a humble brag there, folks.
No, I'm not bragging. I'm going to a wedding. All right, we got to get
back to football because the Super Bowl is today, obviously.
Yes,
so
for sure.
We spoke about what Kansas City needs to do to win. Let's talk about the Philadelphia Eagles, and I'm going to start off with this. People still don't believe in the Philadelphia Eagles. They said that they beat a terrible Giants team, which is the worst organization in the league.
Whoa.
Different story for a different time. And then they beat basically a fourth-string quarterback in Josh Johnson against the San Francisco 49ers. Josh Purdy, exactly. They still don't believe it. And I got to tell you, Tony, even though they're in my division, I'm not supposed to like them. I think they're a solid football team.
Yeah, if I have to look at the Eagles, and if I go to their roster from number 1 all the way down to how many ever number, they are the most complete football team in the entire National Football League. I actually, guilty as charged, I'm a quiet Eagles fan. I know you don't like that. But I listen to Angelo at WIP every morning.
A good guy.
And he's a great guy. He's obviously retiring after the game, but
unbelievable career,
incredible career.
Absolutely.
But
Congratulations on that.
You look at the roster and the way Howie Roseman has built this roster. He's Jewish. He's a true mensch. I know him pretty well. But the way they built this roster and constructed it, they have no weaknesses. I mean, running game, offensive line, defensive line, quarterback, everywhere across the board. They're definitely on paper the better team. But it's a Super Bowl, so throw all that stuff out the window and we'll see.
All right, no, I absolutely love that.
To your question, though,
what does Philadelphia have to do?
They got to get after Patrick Mahomes because Patrick Mahomes moves the needle. He's the cup that stirs the soup, and if you stop Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes, then you win the game. But everyone knew he was going to catch the ball. I guess before the AFC Championship game, he had 15 catches, like 100 and some yards. So, and his brother against brother. So I'm actually pulling for the Kelces.
I love it.
You can't go wrong if you're pulling for the
Absolutely
Kelces. Yeah.
But I think that there's a matchup off the field as well, as I like to call it. Yeah. Well, on the field, but on the sidelines, I should say.
Yep.
And not in between the
100 yard.
Exactly.
And
that is between the head coaches.
Yep.
I think you have a veteran in Andy Reid, who is just a phenomenal former Philadelphia Eagle coach, of course, for a very long time, going against Nick Sirianni, who again is getting a lot of criticism for the way he coaches, his mannerisms, and things like that. I mean, this to me is one of the best coaching matchups in the NFL. Would you agree? And who do you think has the advantage?
So I'm actually going to have to disagree with you.
Wow.
Because you got to look at Andy Reid's tenure and how long. This is Coach Sirianni's first time ever playing in the Super. So this is Andy Reid. He had the season with T.O. when he broke his ankle, and then obviously he took Kansas City to 2-1-1 and lost one. So there's a thing about it, and Tom Brady talks about this all the time. Like, so many guys get to the Super Bowl and they're so hyped. By the time the game starts, because of all the nonsense, they're worn out. Andy's going to be like, sit down, relax, chill. So from a coaching advantage, you got to go get Andy Reid. So there's no way. I mean, you can't. Sirianni's never been there. So, I think he's going to perform well, but Andy Reid definitely wins that notch.
All right. Well, Tony Richardson, it's now time.
Yes.
The moment that we've been waiting for.
You've been to put me in a bad spot.
At Plaka Souvlaki, located at 62 Newark Street in Hoboken, New Jersey. Talk to me about your prediction. Kansas City versus Philadelphia.
All right, I'm going to give you the prediction. I'm going to tell you what, because I'm in the suite. I'm in the Chiefs suite, so I'm going to be wearing Chiefs head to toe. But I will have on Eagles underwear. So, I know this is.
I don't know if I want to predict that on camera. But no, I was looking more for a score here.
I hate to say this, but I really feel like the Eagles are going to win. Super Bowls always come down to like 1 or 2 plays. So I'm probably going to say Eagles win 21-14.
21-14. So it's going to be a close game. Defensive battle.
It's going to be a defensive battle because, both of these teams play really good defense. And Patrick Mahomes, they just don't have the weapons on the outside, I think, because you got to look at Slay and all these guys. I think they're going to be able to shut down the passing game. I'm going to say 21-14. I have not been wrong too many times this year.
No, he's been like on the spot on. I actually calculated your percentage. Your predictions were about at 748. That which is excellent. That means 7 out of 10. You get 7.5 out of 10. You get right.
That's if you're in school.
I'm a numbers man, bro.
If I am a finance major too. If I brought home a 70 average, and my dad, I'll probably get a whooping. But for sports, I think that's good.
That's excellent. People are usually 50% is good.
Well, think about it. $15 billion are going to be spending the Super Bowl on gambling. I can't gamble because I work for the league office. But you can't.
And I don't like wasting my money.
$15 billion.
Yeah, but no thanks.
I mean, I wish if we could place a bet and get $15 billion, that'd be great.
Exactly. Look for him in the Kansas City suite later on during the the game. Be safe going
Thank
down
you so
there.
much.
Have a lot of fun.
Yes.
Great to see you. I
Good
want to
to see
see
you,
you back in here talking about draft
Right here.
and everything else, brother.
And eating and drinking
And
water.
drinking water.
Cloudy water.
Cloudy water.
Yeah.
Tony Richardson, our Sports Insider. Thanks again.
Thank you, brother.
Really appreciate it. All right, folks. Join us next week for The Pulse on everything you need to know. I'm Peter Biancamano. I hope you have a great week, everybody.